Bravo?
Go on then, bravo.
Bravo, cool. The reason I've said that is because I'm in a scout vehicle. Messi's in a term 3, mine's water cannon. So we want to be in the close environments. We'll have an advantage there. So I'm going to head that way.
What you were saying there about kind of different skill sets, but it's still being an advantage sometimes, that ties into the workplace because a lot of the time it's about attitude, isn't it?
Hello and welcome to Find Your Force. This podcast is here to help you find your career potential. I'm your host, Hope, and in this season, we're talking all about how sport can help you find your true career calling. Whether you're taking the first or next step in your career, our advice and stories are here to help you find your force. In this episode, we're jumping into the world of gaming and esports and talking about how it can help you find your career potential. My guests will also be putting me through my paces and testing my esports potential. Do you think, had you not played football, you'd be as good as you are at your job? Yeah, how about I just did pedals and you did the wheel?
Well, you need to let go of the pedals first.
Come on, that beating.
I'll go for a rest. Hello to all of you. Jake, James, Banksy. There's a few names there. How are you? Thank you for joining me today.
No worries, thank you, good morning. So I'm James, working at Odium as an aerospace operations specialist.
Fantastic. What do you do?
Cool, yeah. I'm Banksy. I am an intelligence officer by trade, and I'm currently working a pretty good staff job down in London.
Finally, Jake.
And I'm Jake. I'm an RAF Regiment gunner, currently working in the Force Protection Centre at RAF Honington, working in simulation in our synthetic complex aircraft environment. So essentially, gaming is now my job.
So first things first, I want to hear from each of you where this passion for gaming initially came from. Let's start with you.
So for me, my dad bought a PS1, probably just as I was born, basically. And I grew up with that, with Colin McRae's Rally, then Ape Escape Through Time, and just kind of fostered from there, going through as the PlayStations grew, get the newest one, and then here I am doing it with the RAF.
So you and your father played together?
Yes, we did, yeah, back in the day. And I've kind of progressed more and bought the more expensive stuff. He's kind of stayed casual. So.
And what about you, Banksy?
Pretty similar. So again, PS1 was probably the first proper gaming piece of kit that I had. It was the original Spyro trilogy. That was my entry level. No, I was going to say entry level drug, but let's well say that. Said that now already. The other thing I started getting into was, so my dad was a kind of like a tech geek. He does, systems management, that sort of stuff now. But Roller Coaster Tycoon, those sort of like strategy management games, just playing it on his laptop, like way back, and then eventually we had a house computer for the family, and it just kind of escalated from there, and I've got that. So
we'll see that a little bit later on and have a go on it as well.
I feel slightly underwhelmed now because it's not the best rig I've ever made, but there we go, we'll end it.
The fact you've got a rig is enough in itself.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Jake, what about you?
I'm going to go a little bit more old school and show my age a bit. The first game I remember playing was actually Batman on the original Game Boy. So it was all still black and white. And I remember I could hear a lot of oohs going around.
Ooh,
and so, yeah, that's sort of my first memory of any form of gaming. I was really, really young. And then obviously moved on to the PS1 where Crash Bandicoot was my killer. That bridge level did my head in so many times. And then there was, I think it was like it might have been Total Wipeout, but there was a boat racing game that me and my sister actually played quite a lot at the time. And then for some reason the game went missing, and I don't know why. And then from there, they've moved on to got the first Xbox, and then just Halo from that point onwards. Then moved to 360, and then there's even more Halo, and then it just kind of grew from there. And then moved over to PC gaming. Still got all the consoles, and now I'm with what I've got at the moment.
And what you've got at the moment is quite a reputation for being an F1 champion.
Yeah, just a little bit. So three-time champion since we started the season on seasons. So we're coming on to season 4, beginning in August. Whether or not I'll be racing in that will be a different story, or I might switch over to the commentary, give someone else a chance. No, we've got some very good drivers out there, but it's more focusing on the output, the content output for the Esports Association. Get us out there, and put everyone else to their faces.
Who are you competing against
So
in
we're-
that season?
So we're competing against all serving drivers from all stations. So we've got guys up in Lossiemouth, Lucas, Spade Adam, you name it, Rise, Coningsby. So we all literally just jump online in our season and roll with it for about 7 months. So it's not a short season. So so we literally race against all serving personnel.
We'll touch on it a little bit later, but it's so wonderful to know that you can network and meet different people from different bases
Absolutely.
through esports. So what's the difference between esports and gaming?
I'll say this broader answer is gaming is more of a casual aspect, whereas esports you delve into the competitive side. So I'd say that's a broad answer of it.
Yes, so if you take like traditional sports and compare the same, you've got, so for instance, in the military, you'd have station sport, unit sport. It's fairly casual. It's there for the actual sporting element. In some ways, a fitness team building, that sort of stuff. That's just gaming. And then if you want to, put an edge to those skills and start comparing your abilities against another group competitively, then you've got your esports, which is a long-winded way of saying competitive versus casual.
James, anything to add?
Exactly what Lee said.
That's a cop-out. Okay, tell me more then about how to get involved in esports. When do you, start being able to compete?
As soon as you're ready. So, again, if you are a gamer, you already have those skills with you, or you can start gaming and just play casually by yourself, or as we've done, connect with other people where they're at all around the UK, play together, and then there's enough in, like we do at War Thunder.
Yeah.
We just play casual games Thursday evenings, or try and do like good esports with other teams like the Army and the Navy.
You touched on skills there.
Yeah.
A big thing that different hobbies can give you are skills that you can take into the workforce. What skills has gaming given you that you can take into your daily role?
Well, for us, speaking for War Thunder, in the battles you're playing, you are thinking that there's a tactical way of what you can expect in the future. You're not just playing as you are now. You're thinking ahead. Mm-hmm. So in a few minutes, what can I expect? How am I gonna approach the target? Am I going left? Am I going right? You're thinking ahead, and it gives you that intelligence, I think.
Anything to add, Banksy?
It's that's a can of worms, isn't it? So my core job right now is actually advocating for those skills across defence. So exactly as you said, you've got your tactics, you've got your leadership, you've got your management, you've got your awareness, you've got your technical knowledge. It's through gaming, for example, that I learned most of my military kit. So I used to play like the predecessor to DCS for all the flying nerds out there. And I knew the air defence systems because I was having fun flying an A-10, engaging them. So I went to an intelligence course and suddenly I knew the kit, I knew its rough capabilities. So the list is endless. You really can. It depends on the game, depends what you're doing. But in War Thunder, for example, it's the tactics, it's communication is key. You've got 8 people in a competitive match. Who's speaking when? Who's got priority? You've got to gauge, is my message important? Imagine that F1, though largely is a solo sport, do you actually get do you get the teams behind the driver at all? Does that happen? Or?
So F1 is sort of, it can work in 2 different ways. So you've got your in-game engineer that you can tell when you want to pit, what tyres you want to put on, if you want to do wing adjustments and all that stuff. But in some competitions that we've already had, we actually have someone on a pit wall. So they'll be in the game, but in a spectator camera. And so we can literally just focus on the race. And then they're in your ear, like an actual race engineer would do, and they just never shut up. They will constantly be like, right, gap behind's 1.2, gap behind's 1.3. Okay, he's in DRS, and you're like, how much battery power has he got? And all this information you're getting. So then, when to deploy your ERS to attack or hold off to defend, where's he deploying it? So there's a lot of backwards and forwards. But say the solo aspect. Again, you've got to start thinking about strategy. So you've got your tyre strategy, so you need to know how far your tyres go before they go off the cliff. When you're going to pit, are you going to undercut, overcut? If you're going to overtake, how are you going to force them into that early defensive move and throw them out? And as well as you're on your MFD and you're constantly flicking your buttons around, and then you've got your gears and you go around corners. So.
War Thunder is very similar as well. It's like you have to break up the roles. So in the game, typically I'm looking at kind of the whole group and going, who's doing what, who's got what responsibility. You've then got the game lead who is, the guy called Roadrunner. He's in there in the moment going, okay, we've got a gap here, can someone fill that? Our air defence has gone down, all right, we've got no air cover, hide, get behind a building, yeah, we've got an aircraft running, and that sort of stuff.
James, talk to me a little bit about some of the negative connotations that come with esports and gaming. I mean, screen time is one thing people are often concerned about.
Absolutely. I think, especially like with my parents at least, a lot of people have grown up obviously gaming, think, oh, you're just going to stick in your room, you're not doing anything useful. Well, actually, you are learning, you're not realising it. I think you are learning some key skills that you will need. And then, especially for me and Banksy, I would have met him or doing this if it wasn't for gaming. So I've made some really good friends throughout the Air Force and networked completely thanks to esports.
You found your purpose.
Almost.
Let's continue this conversation whilst actually having a go at the games. I think you've got some challenges for me as well.
A couple.
How do you think I'm going to do?
I think you do absolutely fine.
Yeah, I've done Mario Kart before, if that helps. And Tekken 4.
Sure, you can drive a Challenger.
Yeah?
Did you know there are a huge number of roles available at the RAF, and many of them don't actually require any prior experience? Opportunities in medical and engineering provide on-the-job training, so you don't have to worry if you're at the very start of your career. Go and check out Life at the Royal Air Force. It's just a tap or a click away from this episode.
Okay, so we're over here now at your very fancy setup. We've got gaming chairs, we've got pedals, we've got 2 screens. Why do you need all of this stuff?
Well, I would say it helps me drive quicker more than anything. But no, it's comfort. So like most people, they start racing games on a controller, and then you just gradually progress. And as people get into it more, then you just gradually upgrade your kit and equipment. I mean, maybe next month the wheelbase is going to get upgraded. Oh. But it's comfort as well, because I'm sat in a nice comfy position. I'm not sat in my gaming chair with my pedals all the way down.
These cushions are amazing. You've got one of these as well on your back.
I do, but yeah.
Lovely.
It swings a little bit.
Also, quite interestingly, you're wearing gloves.
I am, yes.
Is that necessary?
Not necessary. Well, it's not necessary. Some people prefer to wear gloves. It just helps. You can, if you really want to, you can get better grip on the wheel. Some wheels are a lot more advanced than what I've got. So you've got little dial switches, toggle switches, so it just gives a better feel. But also it's just a bit of care and maintenance, because with the leather that's on the side, it gets all gunky and sweaty and horrible. Yeah, it's not pretty. I was there scrubbing it the other night. So yeah.
Last but not least, your shoes. When we done the interview on the sofa, you were wearing boots. Now You've got one shoe off and a trainer on. What's going on there?
This is just personal preference. My left shoe is mainly for my brake, because in Formula 1 you left foot brake. If you right foot brake, you would just either miss a track or just keep going on. But all it does is it helps me get a little bit of grip and more of a feel for the brake itself, because I've got a stiff spring in there, so I need to put a lot of force down, and then I can gradually trail brake, which is lifting your foot up slowly. Whereas the throttle, I like having a nice smooth run, so I can control the inputs a little bit more.
Okay. Now, I'm sitting here and I can see your badge here on your shirt. RAF, Video Gaming and Esports Association. RAF Gamers Network. What is that?
So that is essentially the RAF Esports Association. So it was made, or was founded, I believe it was maybe 2019, but don't quote me on that one. And this is where all of us have met, even though they're Banksy and James, myself, all the rest of our drivers. And this is our association and a community that we are all a part of. So.
And how much does the Royal Air Force support your kind of e-sport and gaming ambitions?
Quite highly. No, there's a lot. So we've got multiple events that's happened. Our main one is Insomnia. So we will go to the NEC in Birmingham over a course of bank holiday weekend, or when the event's on. And we literally just go there, we game, we take part in different activities. Sometimes we have recruitment stands that are down there, so with flight simulators and funny enough racing simulators. We've got Rapture as well, similar to Insomnia. But we've also had like Call of Duty teams, they've taken part in events overseas. So they've been to Code Bowl, which was in America. We've had Rocket League that have gone to Germany. And for the F1, we've actually competed against the French Air Force twice at the moment, with the hopes of actually going overseas to have a live event with them. So there's a lot of support from the association with them.
Network is incredibly important
Yes.
with work. And gaming and the internet as such has made the world so much smaller, hasn't it? Have you found that it's easier to connect with different people in different roles that can translate with your career goals?
Absolutely. Yeah, and again, with the association, we're well over nearly 1,400 members, and the networking that you get from there, essentially we work off a no rank policy. So it doesn't matter. Say Leo being an intel, we can talk to him and network through that basis, and then you've got such a variety of trades within the Air Force itself, and you just never know who you're going to get, and then who you speak to. You become friends. I mean, I play 7 Days to Die, and all of a sudden I've got about 6 people jumping in the server. My missus being one of them as well. So and they're all completely different trades: logistics, intelligence, chefs. We've had chefs, other gunners. So yeah, big network in there, and it is a small place because then you go meet them at events like Insomnia, and you're just like, I know you because they've got the jerseys on with the game tags on the back.
Let's have a little look at this whilst you're talking to me.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be multitasking at its finest. In terms of the skills that this can give you that transfer over to work, what would you say is the most important one?
I would say a lot of more like thinking outside the box. So strategy is definitely a key one on this, because as I mentioned earlier, you've got to think about your tyres, you got to think about the corner, attack and defend, your battery deployment, and if you look in the bottom right, I've got this little window here that you're constantly flicking through as you're going through. So you're trying to multitask at the same time to try and get the best outcome in the race. And I'm not actually doing well. I'm doing terrible at this because when I usually drive, I stay quiet. I just like to stay focused, and if I've got an engineer, then I'm just listening to what the engineer has to say. That was really bad today.
You mentioned earlier how sometimes the controller can get a little bit grimy from sweat.
Yes.
Does it give you a lot of kind of pressure, and is it excitement, or is it kind of like I don't know, how does it feel?
It's sort of, it depends on what you're doing. Because when I play this at home, my front room does get quite hot, so and you're hunkered in, so you're pretty much in one area, so you do just naturally get heat from there. When it comes to competitive racing, a lot of it for me is nerves. So every time it's like you're in qualifying, then you get what I call shaky legs. So you constantly want to try and keep pushing, but you also don't want to mess up at the same time. And then once you've got your qualifying position, when it comes to the start of the race, you have to get the right balance, the right amount of throttle, otherwise you'll wheel spin, lose time. And it takes about 4 laps for my legs to settle down, even when it comes to the braking. So your brakes are actually wobbling around sometimes.
But actually, that's a good feeling to have, because it means you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone if you're feeling nervous and getting shaky legs.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily, it's not just me who it happens to as well. It's happened to quite a few of our drivers at the same time. But especially like inter-service competitions or the international competitions as well. So it's all good fun.
Well, it looks pretty realistic, what I'm seeing here. Do you follow the F1 season generally outside of this, or do you just care about the esports?
No, I'm a huge F1 fan. I've been earliest memories I can think about in F1 was every Sunday is a race day. Murray Walker's commentating, and it's bacon and egg butties from my mum, and I'll sit there and watch the F1 with my dad. But yeah, so a huge F1 fan, still watching the seasons. But with this, again, I love the game. Like dearly. I mean, I've been playing it since I think it's F1 2019, F1 2020. That's when I really started getting into it. But my first game I remember playing was F1 2010 of all games. That's wide.
So I'm sure that it's changed drastically since then in terms of the graphics and...
Yeah, the graphics have completely changed, but also the cars have changed. So when you go back to like 2010, back when they had maybe the V8s for it, and then you look at where we are now with the V6 turbo hybrids, and the aerodynamics have completely shifted. The cars handle much differently, because now we're in the ground effect era, as I'm still very deep in the comments. See, I can't do two things at once. Yeah, so we're in the ground effect era. That started last year, if I remember correctly. Well, the rest of it was overbody aero and some crazy designs that came through the cars.
Within F1, who's your favourite driver? Or who has been throughout the time that you've been following?
Oh, see, now you're asking. See, see, the thing is, I kind of want to say no comment because no matter what I say, it'll be the wrong answer to someone. But, you know, you look back in the day, you've got, you know, Ayrton Senna, you know, he managed to do some crazy things. I remember the era of Michael Schumacher as well. Again, 7-time world champion, you can't complain with that one. But I think I remember him actually breaking down in Monaco on the last lap, or he won the laps on the start and finish, which was a bit heartbreaking. But yeah, currently it's got to be the British drivers. You know, John Lewis, George Russell.
Well, you're first name basis with Lewis.
Sorry, Sir Lewis Hamilton. Correct myself. As I'm nearly actually coming up to the Hamilton Straight itself.
Well, you're getting a lot of speed up now. I'm getting a little bit nervous for my challenge. What do you have in mind?
So, then you can see me sliding. So what we're going to do for you is a last to first challenge. So you'll be starting roughly at the back of the grid. I haven't quite tweaked it.
Okay.
So you'll be starting roughly at the back of the grid. You'll have to let every remaining car past, and then you'll have 5 laps to get to the front, and then stay at the front. Essentially win the race.
Okay, I've done a bit of driving in my time. I don't want to get too cocky.
You'll be fine.
Can you show me how it's done first, and then I'll have a go?
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Right, I'm in the seat. I've left my shoes on because I'm a little bit short, aren't I?
Yeah, the chair's as far forward as you can go.
And I'm all set.
Okay.
Right, what do I need to do first?
Right, so I'm going to start the race. So remember, you've got 5 laps to get in front. So now, hold the clutch in, or hold your gear up.
And my throttle.
Yep. Okay, wait. More throttle. And too much. Okay, let go. Go, 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 go. That's it. Second gear. Third. Fourth.
Oh, oh, oh! Wait, we're rotating. How do I... Oh, man.
So go into first gear.
Oh, gosh.
You kind of have to let it break.
So I'm holding this in,
Yep, power.
and I'm revving,
More power.
and let it go.
Wait. Now let go. Okay, cool.
Change gear.
Yeah, and again.
Change gear.
And again. And again.
Change gear. Whoa. Oh, my God, it's so hard. The steering wheel. Touch in.
Hold it in.
Rev.
Rev. Okay, leave it there, and off you go.
Change gear.
Too early. Power. More power. More power.
More power.
Power. More power. And again. Next gear. Next gear. Fourth. Fifth.
Brake a little bit. Ooh.
And turn. Is it more power? Because ideally when we're going flat out in 1 and 2. So you get a bit
Yeah,
more
but I'm
power.
just pleased that I'm getting somewhere.
Brake.
This
Brake.
Whoa.
Brake.
Whee.
Brake. You're not actually hitting your brake. More power, more pressure. There you go. Now you hit the
It's
brake.
because I'm too small.
So stay with that line. Okay, now full throttle. Full throttle.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
gear, next gear. And again, and again, and again. Wait.
How many gears are there?
8. So go to the right, go to the right. Cut the corner.
Oh, no.
So this is Maggots and Beckett's. So you would want to take this bit flat, down 2 gears here, and then down 1 more gear here, and now power out of it. Go on, full throttle.
This is fun, isn't it?
And again.
I'm enjoying this.
So you're jumping the gears too quick.
Sorry.
Gotta wait for the lights. Okay, now you're gonna hit the brakes. Turn.
Ew.
Such that's simple.
That was a little bit better, but although I stopped completely.
This one you can keep rolling. So that's cops.
Oh, no. Whoa.
Gentle on the throttle.
Yeah, and gentle
because
on
you've
the
got no
wheel.
traction control on. You sort of need to be easy on the
Right,
throttle.
okay.
Throttle. And then turn left. Try not to kill the cars. Try not to kill the cars.
Whoa.
You might want to wait there for a second.
I felt going to.
Yeah, just
It's
go-
like being
give it
a
a
zebra crossing, isn't it?
Just give it a second. And turn right and off you go.
Turn right, and off I go. How does the team
There you
stuff,
go.
in terms of doing this, how does it help you with team building in the workplace, or does it not?
No, it absolutely does, because one key part of this, especially if you've got like sort of your own pit crew, is it's the communication aspect. So the communication with that one then comes up. Then you're coming up with solutions and problem solving on the track as you're going along. A little bit more brake. There you go. So that was self-sabotage. That was on me.
I felt I was doing all right. I was getting it.
But yeah, so in a team environment, your communication's there, your problem solving's there. You're constantly having to think on your feet, because in the world of F1,
anything can happen. So you can have safety cars, virtual safety cars. In this, you can actually have red flags.
Also pressure as well. It allows you to learn how to manage pressure and stay calm.
There's no
in
such thing as
moments of
managing.
stress.
There's no such thing as managing pressure.
No?
No. It does. It does help. You know, you put things in the back of your mind. You can prioritize things, and in some forms, like even going down the mental health route, it's a good distraction. It just takes your mind away from things and just lets you crack on and phrases out and things about others. This type of thing actually ties into my actual job role. So, in the S cage, we simulate, we basically simulate an optimum environment using a software called Virtual Battlespace, or Virtual Battlespace 3, which is a carbon copy, as you would, from the same developers of Arma 3, which is sort of a military simulation. So we use that one, and the whole point in what we call command and staff training is they can get all the mistakes out the window, they can learn from their mistakes, and with 2 presses of the button you can reset, off you go, before they go out and do it for real. So, you can always put a reset on this, but sometimes you only get one chance, as unfortunately we have found out in the past, and also recently in the racing world.
True.
So,
I feel like I've done my time. I feel like that was brilliant. I enjoyed it, but you definitely need to practice to get good.
Yeah, so you start on a controller, start small, a little budget wheel that you borrowed from work, and then end up with this.
Well, Jake, thank you ever so much for showing me all of that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And well
Thanks for
done for
having
being
us.
champion more than once.
Thanks. I don't know if I'm doing it this year, though.
So, now over here with you two with this game, tell me everything I need to know.
Well, we've just loaded into what's called a realistic air battle. So it's pretty simple. You've got a number of our players, their players. I'm not going to try and count how many there are right now. We're at the kind of mid-top tier. So we're dealing with like late Cold War fights, that sort of stuff. This is my Jaguar here. You've got Mezzi in front, then you can see through the dust kicked up by this SU-25. I'm going to see if I can get the afterburner on takeover.
So you're playing live with other people?
Yes, these are just other players right now. Mezzi's there in the sub. The rough plan is he's going to climb, get to altitude, and we're both going to take a flank, left or right?
Left.
Maybe left, cool. So fairly arbitrary due to the fact this is a very open map. I'm going to go over, maybe use these cliffs here if we can. So I'm just going to get some altitude to help me gain speed.
So you two can communicate because you're both next to each other playing the game together. Other people on your team, how can you communicate to them?
So with the team, there is a text chat. We've turned it off simply because there are some rather racy characters on there. Just for the purpose of this, but it's your standard online gaming chat, pros and cons.
Yeah.
Normally when we're playing online, we have our team, so everyone in the RF Gamers network who's currently playing with us, we'll be on Discord together. Discord's kind of an online platform. It's both helps us manage the community and also has these chat rooms that we can sit in and do communication and generally mess about, have fun, quite frankly.
So everyone who's playing at the moment, are they all within the Royal Air Force?
No, this is an open lobby, so we've just got the two of us in here right now, Mezzi and myself. Got a little clan tag on there, I don't know if you can see that. And yeah, simple as. So objectives right now, we've got some bombing targets. I've got no bombs, don't think Mezzi does either. So we're going to be trying to prevent them from bombing our targets and just try and win air superiority here.
So it's basically like, if we compare it to football,
Yeah.
you've got different positions for different jobs, and when you kind of come into this, you are assigned a role that you have to do.
You're not assigned it, you look at it. So I've picked an aircraft here which has got really good low-level performance characteristics. Mezzi's flying one which is very highly maneuverable. It's the Saab Draken, and it's a much better high-altitude energy fighter than this one is. I'm low, he's high, but we are going to work together. Between the two of us, we can cover the full altitude of the battlefield, and if he gets into a furball high up, I could light the afterburners, pop up and try and score a kill while the enemy is distracted trying to deal with him, and vice versa, which is why there's some distance between us. So even though we're apparently next to each other right here, so I would be there, it's actually all the way up there, 5 kilometres above
I get
me.
you. So Mezzi, is that your gaming name?
Yes. Yeah, that's my gamer tag that I've had since I started, really.
And it's become a nickname in real life too?
Yeah, just kind of stuck with it. I've always been called Mezzi. Just my surname just makes 2-3 letters out, and it's there. So that's what I've just kind of stuck with.
Brilliant. What's your gaming name?
It says English Dragon 10.
English Dragon?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. One of the really fun things about gaming is often your gamer tag, you choose it when you're a lot younger, and then it sticks with you. But you just got to own it. It's great.
So
Wouldn't want to mess with the English dragon.
absolutely not.
Okay.
My airspace, thank you very much. So on my right there, I've got a Milan and a Navy 8, so I now know what those aircraft are. The Milan has no flares. That might be an easy kill. So I'm going to light the afterburner and try and merge in. He probably knows I'm likely after him. Missile on. Close to my G limit. Yeet. Get the missile off there. Don't think that's going to track.
Most people who play this game, I know there's different people from all walks of life, but is it a really popular thing within the Royal Air Force?
Yeah, because naturally, we're a fairly technical service to start with. Sorry, bear with me, I'm dealing with F5. But yeah, we're a technical force to start with, so often we get a kick out of knowing our stuff. Oh, he crashed, I didn't. Got him.
Well done.
That is a maneuver kill. Fortunately, the game doesn't recognise that, but hey, I'll take that. I'll land high up, see if I can do that. So yeah, technical service. Communication is absolutely key. You know, there's very few jobs in the Air Force where you are alone, doing your thing and no one else about you. That's not going to be able to lock from that distance and let you hold that. So yeah, Army, Navy, all of us, intrinsically, very cooperative, tactical in nature. You really need to communicate, use teamwork. Mezzy, I'm doubling back actually, see if we can get under this fair ball.
So how does playing this game transfer over to helping you with employability?
So, one of the biggest things you learn on this is decision making. We talk about AI at the moment, and it's all about decision trees, and it's very much the same sort of concept here. So again, I've got to know my vehicle, my capabilities, its capabilities versus other vehicles. I've got to know the opposition's vehicles, how that matchup goes down. If you're playing in a team for esports, you end up in a situation where you've got not just yourself, but 7 other players on your side, whose capabilities, if it's your role to do so, you need to be able to weigh up as well and go, oh, that's an IS-7. Wow, okay, we're going to really struggle to penetrate that. Right, we need this player who's got this vehicle, which has got the best capability against that. Or you know its weak spots, or you do something like disable it, shoot the barrel, shoot the tracks, get your allies in to help.
It's also a case of sometimes weighing up who's actually playing which role, because not everyone's going to be as good as someone else. Can you pick who's on your team?
So we have that all the time. So no matter who's on at the moment, if there's RAF personnel online playing, ready to play War Thunder, we will play squadron battles. It could be that person's first time, and that can cause problems due to the nature of honestly, only for the reason that squadron battles, it puts you in a particular class of vehicle. And if you've not progressed far enough in the game, you may not have that vehicle.
You'd have like something wooden.
Right, exactly. So we've had it, someone with a biplane playing squadron battles, but that person was just flying around at low level, very difficult to engage, looking at stuff. And on the comms going, there's a church, he's on the west side of the church, it's a big tank, it's got a really long barrel. We're like, okay, right, that's probably an IS-7, right, okay, we think we know what we're all about, but now we know to look by the church and engage accordingly. So we've just jumped into a game here. This is now ground battles, to illustrate that point that it's the 2 of us right now, but if there's 8 people, there's 3 objectives here to make use of.
Yeah.
Who's going to position where? Where's the low ground? Where's the terrain? I'm now looking at the map, not just reading it, but understanding, so what? How does that help me? Where should I take this vehicle? Bravo?
Go on then, bravo.
Bravo, cool. The reason I've said that is because I'm in a scout vehicle. Mezzy's in a term 3, nice autocannon. So we want to be in the close environments. We'll have an advantage there. So I'm going to head that way.
What you were saying there about kind of different skill sets, but it's still being an advantage sometimes, that ties into the workplace, because a lot of the time it's about attitude, isn't it? You might not have the experience, you might not have been taught something yet, but if you've got that attitude and you want to do it, that's what will make you strive forward, isn't it?
The most important part. If you are the most useless War Thunder player on the planet, but you've got the right attitude, willing to learn, looking at a defeat and go, okay, right, I lost, I died too, whatever the vehicle is. What do I do now? How do I learn from that? And if you're the sort of person who can do that, incredibly valuable in the Force, because that's what it's all about. It's about failing fast and learning quickly.
James, tell me more about the support the Royal Air Force provides you with if you have a passion for gaming or esports.
Yeah, so on most stations now, like we have here at Benson, we've got these gaming rooms, which is brilliant. If you haven't got the budget, to get a computer like this, you can come in and you can just chill in the evening, after work, and you meet other people from the station, so you network. And you just make friends, like we are online with other people. I've made friends from Lossiemouth and all the way down north from south. So you meet people, and it just gives you a chance, again, to meet people at other ranks, like officers, and just make friends on the station.
It's wonderful, really. You've got a whole community, haven't you?
Yeah, it gets you out your room and it gets you doing stuff.
So talking of doing things, you've got a challenge for me, haven't you?
I do. Let's get in the cockpit. You're going to be flying Spitfire.
Oh,
He's going to be flying a bomber. You've got to intercept him.
oh my goodness. Okay, let's give it a go.
Right, I'm now in the gaming seat.
Down the gaming
Headset on.
So we are just setting up a custom battle for you. It's going to be you versus Mezzy's there. Mezzy's going to be in a bomber. It's going to try and bomb a target, and it's your objective to stop him.
Be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, dear. He's
He's in on it.
competitive, isn't he?
So you're going to have the advantage of speed on him. You're going to be in a, well, up to you. I suggest you take the Spitfire, but I'm also offering you a Mosquito if you want. A little bit of speed, but less maneuverability.
Oh, go with the one that's got mobility.
Mobility.
Because often, if I'm playing, I'll get a bit carried away.
All right, Spitfire it is. And load you in. So
Whoa.
there we go. So see that little circle?
It's sensitive, isn't it?
It is. So we can actually drop sensitivity if you want, but I would suggest
I
remember
like
what
it.
is.
Can I spin round?
You can. So you use your left hand, put it on WASD.
WASD.
Yeah, so WASD. So you're going to be using A and D to spin the aircraft left and right accordingly.
Whoa.
And you have completed your first battle roll.
There you go, look.
So yeah, see the blue markers on the left there?
Yep.
Yep. So over there, that's our bases. You tap and hold M for a second. We'll look at the
M.
map. Just hold it. So here's the enemy coming in on the red force. They've got some targets over there that we've got to hit. The red targets. They're going to try and hit our blue targets. We're going to stop. So
And you're red.
he's red. So he's in the bomber. He's going to be blitzing straight for those targets at Alpha. So what we're going to do, we're going to up the engine.
It's Alpha.
Climb some altitude. That's Alpha, yeah. We're going to climb some altitude, get above him so that we can dive down onto him.
Ah.
And once we work out what bomber he's in, I can start talking you through where we should attack from.
So we don't actually know which one he is.
Correct. So
This plane's different to these two.
yeah, that's about spawn location. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So
Right, so let's go higher.
hit shift to get the water emergency power on. Shift, left hand side.
Oh, there.
There you go. Tap
Which is
that.
on every single keyboard. Is it all one word?
So now got water emergency power on.
Oh, hence why I've got some like smoke coming off me.
Yeah, because we're literally trucking as much fuel into that engine as it can take. But we've got fuel to spare. We've got 20 minutes of fuel. We've only got however many minutes of filming time. So
What happens
Nothing to
when
worry
you
about.
run out of fuel?
the engine stops working. Doesn't mean that you crash. You can glide back to base. I've done that a few times, but I maybe didn't watch my fuel gauge carbon left.
So if you're in the middle of this game and you notice that the fuel says you've got 2 minutes,
Turn around and go back to base.
okay,
And some
and then
maps,
come back.
particularly in later areas of warfare, with the jets with afterburners, for example, you really got to watch out on that, because the minute you turn the afterburner, you are literally throwing fuel out the back, and you can watch your fuel gauge go very quickly. So I've maybe crashed a few times on account of running out of fuel in a high-level jet. So bring us down to the left slightly, and to starboard side, because you're currently heading towards the enemy targets. So we're looking at our targets to defend them. You're at a good altitude here.
Sorry, I thought I was heading towards the red.
You are, but what's what you're currently. We're wanting to defend our targets.
Oh, so head over here.
Yeah. Bring it around, keep coming, keep coming, keep.
Apologies, I was going straight in there thinking, right, I'll get him.
Now we're going to start scanning the sky, see if we can see anything. So we're looking down, kind of where the land meets the sea.
How can I stop it wiggling?
Let the aircraft stabilise.
Oh,
Attack control for me, so we take us off all its power. There we go. Right. If they're attacking us, then they're going to be coming from their spawn. I've just seen.
I saw that too.
Yeah, good spot.
Right.
So what we're going to do, rather than just beelining towards him, you're going to aim like slightly above him and to the right. And then we can swoop down onto him, which is going to give you a long engagement time.
Got a lot of faith in me, haven't you? Saying words like swoop.
Why would I? Swoop like an...
How's it going, enemy?
I'm just lining up. I see you now.
That's quite a nice,
He said he could see seen you, so we've got to watch out for his guns.
oh, he can see us.
There he is, down below you. Roll over and dive onto him.
Roll over with,
WAD, yeah. Oh, swoop that.
Where is he?
There you go.
I can see his shadow, but I can't see him.
There he is. He's right there.
How do I get him? Oh, this is fun, isn't it?
So you're now going rather fast. You would not pull up slightly gently. Cool, that's it. That's it. Hold it. Okay, you got to hit. Right, roll off.
How do I roll?
Get up. You're already doing it.
Oh, there we go.
So- That's good.
Overload.
Good.
What's that mean?
You just pull that Spitfire around incredibly tightly. So the airframe can only take a certain amount of Gs. So you were pulling 7 G in your Spitfire there, which is quite a lot. Modern fighters only do 13 routinely. This is a World War II plane. Right, let's get that war emergency power on. You've 1.3 kilometers away. Don't think we bother with firing just yet.
Oh, sorry.
So we're going to gain some speed on them. Let's dive down a bit. So
I'm not that bad at this.
You're fine. So you're now trading speed for altitude right now. We actually want to get rid of the altitude. We want more speed. So
Okay,
under him,
under him.
yeah, because we're gonna burn our altitude, get speed. When we've got higher speed, we can catch up to him. So you're gonna pop under him.
Mezzy man, you're going downtown.
Fortunately, he's hit the base. So,
Oh, no.
but we're still gonna make him pay for it. So let's drop.
Now?
Yep, down, down, down. A little bit more. A little bit more. Now pop up and aim just in front of the nose. Hold it. Hold the mouse. Pretty got it. He did something to his engine. Oh,
Ha.
I've lost 2. You've lost 2 of them.
Oh. So it's a good game for building your confidence as well, actually, because I feel like I'm like feeling a bit cocky, I am.
I mean, we can have another pass if you want.
Where is he now?
He's off to your 6 o'clock-ish.
6 o'clock, which means he's over where?
You're already on it. Keep going around, keep coming around. There he is. So 6 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, etc. Just imagine you put a clock face on your aircraft and you can then project what number that would be. It's a very easy way to do a heading.
So is
There you
someone
go.
else shooting?
Yeah, so the air defence over wherever that is, I think it might be... It's on the east coast, it's somewhere up north of Dover. So the air defence are currently firing at Leslie and he's
leaving.
trailing smoke.
Where's he going?
Hang on, back to drop your engine back a little bit. I've got your wall race car. So rather than aiming at him, let's aim in front of him to be able to intercept him. So aim a bit further right. Keep going. Further. Go on, below his water heading. That's it. Level up. And then, yeah, so when you fire, you're just going to hold the trigger rather than clicking it. You're aiming at where he is, not where he's going. Aim more. Leave more. Engine fire. Get the cannons on.
I'm buzzing, this is
You're
good.
just using the machine guns. Left click. There's your cannons. Don't hit him.
Oh,
You hit him.
it took him down.
You did take him down.
I'm in a ball of flame. This is mission successful.
A little bit of a different way to go about it, but
It works. Certain countries use that tactic. For that exact reason, it is a simple thing to hit the aircraft. The difficulty is normally hitting him with your guns and not colliding with it, especially if you're doing a diving attack.
and not hurting yourself.
Correct. And also, we're playing this virtually. We're not the pilots. If you're actually the pilots, one, your field of view is considerably more limited. You've got the Gs, you've got all that sort of stuff. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised because I didn't think I would enjoy this game, but I really did. So it just goes to show that you should always try something new, shouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Well, those challenges were a lot of fun. Thank you for putting me through my paces. Let's end the episode by hearing a last kind of key bit of advice that you would give our viewers on this episode. Chase?
Just don't be afraid to ask questions when you learn with gaming and esports. Whether you're going to join the RAF, just don't be afraid to ask questions and see what you can learn from it.
It's good to be inquisitive, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Banksy?
No matter what force you're going for, don't underestimate yourself. So if you've got the skills to make something happen, no matter where that came from, formal education, gaming, wherever it is, think about what that means to your employer and justify it to them.
Last but not least?
I would say just don't be afraid. If you think you've got the talent, why not try it out? Go for it, see where you get, and then you can only improve from there.
Well, Jake, Banksy and James, thank you ever so much. I've definitely learned a thing or two in this episode. And thank you for watching or listening. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this one and share with anyone who wants to find their career potential.
Yes, it is a cliche, but there literally is something for everyone in the air.
She did.
There is.
She did.
There is.
Read
There's
that.
something for everyone. There is. I was going to ask you if someone...